Welcome to the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Cause freedom of speech is what us individuals have. It's the gift when we gab, talking about things that the brainwash cannot mentally grasp, like staying loud and waving our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing their MAGA and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad, like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say, and deep government state wanna get up in our face, but hasn't done it yet cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we could throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will go down in history as one of the GOATs for making the swamp pay for taking every one of his votes. His enemies are the cancer, whether or not Trump give him the smoke. Now relax it back and take notes as we kick facts with the homie Ray though. Speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said, speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Speak your mind. It's freedom time. Without even trying to, we make them liberals mad.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Great Friday evening, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. Welcome to a great episode of Friday Night Liberal SmackDown. Remember, before we go any further, like, share, subscribe, ring that bell so you can get those instant notifications because it is going down. Only thing I ask is that you keep your comments respectful, or you already know what's going to happen. You will get blocked, and I mean that to YouTube and Twitch. Facebook are good participants. Live and learn from them, YouTube. But there's a lot of things going on. But you see the name of the title. Now that we know the truth, now that we know the actual and the factual, now that we know Papa is not in control of the situation, who the hell is running America? Because it sure ain't sleepy Joe Biden, the man that continues to talk to dead people. No, miss me with that. So before we go any further, you know how we do here. I'm going to go ahead and play it. And then, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and react to it as I always do. But, you know, when people see sharks in the water, well, you know, when sharks smell blood in the water, they already know what's about to go down. And how come the only time you see Kamala Harris is when she's coming out trying to talk about what a great job Joe Biden is doing? That's what weed'll do. Weed will make you see some shit that's not even there. Because there's no way in hell she could possibly see Joe Biden do it. Well, if she's doing a half-assed job herself, I guess she might be living by her own standards. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the clip and we'll get back to it.
I have been privileged and proud to serve as Vice President of the United States with Joe Biden as President of the United States. And what I saw of that report last night, I believe is, as a former prosecutor, the comments that were made by that prosecutor, gratuitous, inaccurate, and inappropriate. October 7th, Israel experienced a horrific attack, and I will tell you, we got the calls, the president and myself, in the hours after that occurred. It was an intense moment for the Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America, and I was in almost every meeting with the president in the hours and days that followed. Countless hours with the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of State, the heads of our intelligence community, and the president was in front of and on top of it all, asking questions and requiring that America's military and intelligence community and diplomatic community would figure out and know how many people were dead.
See, I'm going to stop her right there. This is the thing. They seem to be the only ones, and this is what's striking, because you can even talk to Democrats now, and they are like, you know what, enough is enough. But yet, you have this lady still trying to convince us that Joe Biden is somehow the brightest bulb in the box. The things they say in no way, shape, or form line up with the facts of reality. But we know why she's doing it. She's I like to call it a well, it's sort of a farewell. She's given her last stand. I mean, for her to be so adamant in the defense of Joe Biden and trying to persuade America into thinking and believing that he's doing such a great job, when in all actuality she's in there measuring the size of curtains and rugs and trying to see if she's going to put silk or satin sheets on the beds. You know, it's funny. It's laughable. But even as laughable as it may be, we must let her continue. Go ahead, Mrs. Next President of these United States. I said it here first. Ain't no way in hell they're going to get rid of Joe Biden and bring Gavin Newsom in. No, they're not going to do that. You know why? Because there's a portion of the Black community, for some reason, will lose their damn mind. And if there wasn't a civil war over this bullshit that Joe Biden is pulling, there damn sure may be one if they jump over Kamala Harris and the Black community will lose their damn mind. Even if she don't know what the hell she doing. Go ahead and let her finish.
How many are Americans? How many hostages? Is the situation stable? He was in front of it all, coordinating and directing leaders who are in charge of America's national security, not to mention our allies around the globe. For days, and up until now, months. So the way that the president's demeanor in that report was characterized could not be more wrong on the facts and clearly politically motivated, gratuitous. And so I will say that when it comes to the role and responsibility of a prosecutor in a situation like that, we should expect that there would be a higher level of integrity than what we saw.
Okay, so yes, she is a sick woman. She really is. She really is. Bobby Breeze boys, good evening. Good evening. Aloha, my brother from Hawaii. How are you? God bless. What's going on? Go Hawks. That's what's up. Oh, you see my Hawk sign here? That's what's up. We are just listening to Kamala Harris as she puts on a staunch defense for what a great job Joe Biden is allegedly doing in the Oval. But this is the thing. The report has come out, the special report by her, and it literally states that after an intense thorough investigation, that Joe Biden is unfit to be president of these United States. It basically boils down to, we know Joe Biden willfully knowing. See, key word, willfully knowingly had classified documents. Good evening, Deb. So basically, if he knowingly and willingly had classified documents, and he wasn't entitled to, because let's remember, he did not fall under the Presidential Records Act. Oh, that is something that exists. If you don't know about it, look it up. In no way, shape, or form was Joe Biden ever supposed to have these documents in his possession. So basically, they're trying to say because he's an old man, he didn't realize that he had these documents. Well, back in 2019, he bragged about having the classified documents. What about the state of mind when he initially took the classified documents? Oh, back up, breaking news. Joe Biden just threw his staffers under the bus. Oh, yeah, he did. Joe Biden said if they knew what they were doing, I wouldn't have had these documents, even though he has classified documents with his markings on them. So allegedly, I guess they falsified his markings also. But, it's a shame, put it this way. When you talk about somebody like this, in this way, that's supposed to be the leader of the free world, people just won't believe you. So what do you have to do? Let me see if I got it here. I'm gonna let this man speak in his own words, and if he can manage to close his mouth for a minute, and I'm not talking about while he's talking, I'm talking about literally when he's standing there looking in the camera and his mouth is just hanging open. We're gonna let y'all decide for yourselves, and just tell me if this is a man that should be the leader of the free world, especially the man that should have his paws on the briefcase of the nuclear button.
Let me say a few things before I take a question.
Take it, Joe. You take it away,
As
buddy.
you know, the special counsel released his findings today about their look into my handling of classified documents. I was pleased to see he reached a firm conclusion that no charges should be brought against me in this case. This was an exhaustive investigation going back more than 40 years, even into the 1970s when I was still a new United States Senator. The special counsel acknowledged I cooperated completely. I did not throw up any roadblocks. I sought no delays. In fact, I was so determined to give the special counsel what he needed, I went forward with a 5-hour in-person interview over 2 days on October the 8th and 9th of last year, even though Israel had just been attacked by Hamas on the 7th and I was very occupied. It was in the middle of handling an international crisis. I was especially pleased to see special counsel make clear the stark distinction and difference between this case and Mr. Trump's case.
That ain't.
Special counsel wrote, and I quote, "Several material distinctions between Mr. Trump's case and Mr. Biden's are clear," continuing to quote, "Most notably, after given multiple chances to return classified documents to avoid prosecution, Mr. Trump allegedly did the opposite. According to the indictment, he not only refused to return the documents for many months, he also obstructed justice by enlisting others to destroy evidence and then to lie about it."
So basically, what he's doing now is he's coming out and he's bold-faced lying. He's bold-faced lying and deflecting. You notice what he says in all of this? Well, the press doesn't see me this way. Well, this is what this person said. This is what that person said. These are the same people that help orchestrate this whole thing. I guess he expects us to believe because his people told us this before. He's just reiterating it, and we're supposed to believe it. How many times do I have to go back to the basic foundation of all of this? Joe Biden was never supposed to be in possession of classified material. He's not authorized. So everything else that we're talking about is basically a moot point. We need to address that issue first. Why did you have it, sir? But we already know why. Because he says his staffers were the one that did it. So you can see where this is going. It's going to the case of plausible deniability. That's what they're doing. Plausible denial. So they're using the old man syndrome, that he's too old to prosecute. Well, if he's too old to prosecute, how come he's not too old to be running the country? If he can't remember dates, if he's seeing I can't believe we're sitting here having to have this discussion, but in reality, we are. The leader of the free world is basically incompetent of running the country. I mean, I might be saying it in a different way, but the gist of it all is in the report. And they keep trying to say because they didn't prosecute him, there's no evidence. No, are you not listening? They're not prosecuting him because they feel sorry for the old man. I mean, that's just what her said. They feel that a jury is going to be so sympathetic to the old man that there's no way they're going to throw him in jail. I mean, he doesn't get the right to make that decision, but I almost somewhat understand what he's talking about. So I believe they confronted Joe with two options. Option one, your old ass can go to jail for the next couple of years that you got remaining. Or option two, you will face public humiliation like you've never faced before. You will face the scrutiny of being an incoherent person that somehow is still running the country, and you will have questions surrounding your legacy forever. And I would say he took the latter of the two. But oh, lo and behold, this is what.
In contrast,
Sorry about that. Let me just get him off of here real quick. I don't even want to see him. Got him hanging, his mouth hanging open. I don't see. That's what he looks like on a regular basis. Papa should not be driving. Only thing Papa need to be doing is eating ice cream and chilling on the beach. He's got those down packed. So let him do what he does best and go back to the beach, eat some ice cream. Let me throw my comments. Hey, Kaylin, what's up? Good evening. Oh, just like James Comey covered up for Hillary crime. Yes, yes. And my man Trump. See, but everybody's not built for it. Everybody. See, this is by God's design. In order for all of this crookedness and all of this stuff that's been going on that's just of devil nature, God had to pick somebody who was built for it. He couldn't pick nobody that would be easily defeated because they wouldn't serve the purpose. That's why the Don is the one. And he didn't do much. He just made him itch. He just made him itch, and they've been scratching at the scabs and scratching to the bone, raw bone ever since. But now they find themselves in a pickle, as if they didn't already prior to this. You know, I really truly believe, because when you have power and stuff and such like they had, when you want stuff not to happen on your side of the basketball court, it doesn't happen. But all of a sudden, when the shift changes, and not only are you now being exposed, but you're being exposed at a accelerated rate by the people that at one time protected you, which lets me further know that Joe's time is running short. But I told somebody earlier, Joe Biden may get away for a second, but he's not going to get away for a lifetime. Because unfortunately, around the corner waiting for him is Orange Man Bad. Now, either Orange Man Bad is going to show mercy on this decrepit old man, because what they have done, and this is what happens during the hours of desperation, what they have done is further incriminate Joe Biden. They have given the next president, Donald Trump, the nail in the coffin, all of the ammunition he needs to put Mr. Biden to rest and put that to the side. All the evidence is there, but it's all about how it's being presented to you. Leave it up to the Democrats. All of this information now that's coming out, it's false. How dare they? How dare we trust them? Oh, but we got to trust them when it comes to the calls that they make on Donald Trump. The same people that you tell us to trust and put our faith in, when they're grinding on 45, now that they're grinding on your guy, and because they don't want to be the odd man out. Nobody wants to be the odd man out. I remember a time it was just Peter Doocy asking the hard questions. Well, lo and behold, it seems to have become open season with the press on Sleepy Joe. Or as I call him now, Papa. What you say, no mercy, Kayla, no mercy? I don't know. Trump's whether you like him or not, I mean, he's a decent human being. I mean, he does have a heart. He really does. I mean, he's all alpha male and all that, all macho, but deep down inside, the man has compassion. He really does. And you know why I think he might have compassion on Joe? You know why? Because, and this is just my humble opinion, Hunter Biden will pay for the crimes of his father. Oh, yes. Hunter Biden will be that sacrificial lamb. Because somebody's going to pay. They have Hunter Biden on so many felony accounts. They got Hunter Biden on so many IRS shit. They got Hunter Biden on so many, the damn, the paperwork he didn't file, being a foreign agent, all that shit that gives you a mandatory 30 years. Once his dad's gone, his dad can't help him with that shit. The only reason Hunter Biden ass is walking around right now is because his daddy and the DOJ and the government establishment was protecting his ass. But we now see that they are even turning on Sleepy Joe. And Sleepy Joe turning on them. So now we got a cat fight with. They've done so many unpredictable things. I don't know what the possibilities are endless when it comes to how the Democrats will react. That's what desperation does when it sets in. It makes you do things that you ordinarily wouldn't do because you're not thinking about the outcome. You're not thinking about what happens down the road. Hey, Haley lost to none of the above. Yes, of course. Of course. That's how it happens. That's how it happens. But I will pride myself in knowing that I knew all of this shit from the beginning. I've been telling you for years now, along with others. But you know, at the end of the day, while one man maybe he's going through 91 indictment charges or whatever, that's all going to be thrown away because lies aren't going to prevail. While this man is walking tall with his head held up high, still fighting for America, do you notice everyone that ever had any bad intentions for this man, whoever tried to bring any bad things towards this, do you notice how their lives have just crumbled apart? No, really, you got to sit back and analyze this. And from Nancy to them all, their lives have never been the same. They have literally had to disappear, whether quickly or slowly. So, what happens if Kamala Harris becomes president and they remove Sleepy Joe? That puts the Republicans one step further, because third in line is who? The Speaker of the House. And who's the Speaker of the House? Rob Johnson. Now, I don't want to put labels on nothing, but it is what it is. And what is Rob Johnson? He is a Republican. So if things are working for the benefit of America, whether you see it or don't see it, things are working. So what happens when Trump comes back? Mercy or revenge? I'm just saying, it can only be one or the other. Mercy or revenge? I'm picking mercy, because he's going to make sure Hunter Biden pays for the crimes of his father. But you know what's the saddest thing is in this whole picture? You have real alpha dogs, leaders of other countries, such as Russia, North Korea, China, Iraq, Iran, India. They're looking at what a weak specimen of a president we have. And they're looking and seeing how America is allowing such a weak presence of a leader to be at its forefront. That's actual and factual. You see us, you think Americans, you think we're the only one paying attention to this right now? Newsflash. Every major leader in every country is sitting back, licking their chops. And you know the scary part is? Whatever their motives, whatever they got planned, they know their window is getting closed. That's the scary part about it. Because, in my opinion, there's only two scenarios. You stop and you turn and walk away from everything you've been working for over 50-something years, so they say, or you go forth. Which one do you think they have in mind? Huh? You think they're just going to wake up one day and say, oh gosh, we're busted, the gig is up, let's reverse course? No, they're in it to win it. To have in my opinion, a man with almost full-blown dementia, to allow him to stumble out in front of the world. Oh, they going full-blown with their agenda. By hook or by crook, they are trying to keep Sleepy Joe at the forefront. And I think I know why. Because Sleepy Joe is at the point in his I was about to say his prime, but he's at the point in his time where he's like a marshmallow. He's like a marshmallow. You can just squeeze on him and make him into whatever you want and do whatever you want and then chew him up and spit him out. Where Kamala, I think they believe that Kamala might have a little more of a resistance. And I believe they might be somewhat right, because that might be what takes it for Kamala to bring out her inner sister in her that she claims to have in there. That'd be the time we need to see the inner sister come out in Kamala when they say, yo, Kamala, we need you to do this off the chain shit here. I mean, shit, she was rolling, listening to Snoop Dogg and Tupac before they even got out there with their shit. So, you know, she a weed smoker too. Miss Hee Harris. Yeah, giggles. I mean, I just call it like I see it. So we're going to see. We're going to see how it's going to turn out. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Every day is something new. Every day. Do you think I thought they was going to actually literally come out and tell us Papa couldn't be capable of running the country? I mean, they didn't say Papa couldn't run the country. They just said Papa can't remember shit. Papa don't know shit. You know? So, I mean, what other conclusion can you draw from it? That's not the person you want running the free world and having his hand on the nuclear briefcase. I mean, really? Why do you think Miss Daisy had a driver? The bitch was old. When you get old, there are just certain things you shouldn't attempt to do, you shouldn't try to do, you just can't do. Can you see Joe Biden sitting across the table from Vladimir Putin or President Xi? Can you imagine that shit? Could you imagine it? That's like you playing a game of chess against your blind uncle. It's just no. Come on, man. Appreciate the love. Jay Jones, good evening. Somebody says it's going to be Haley and Trump, with Trump winning by landslide. No, Haley's not even in the picture. We can't even put nobody by Trump's name. Trump solo dolo. Now, hey, word is that if Trump picks a VP, it won't be a politician. And I don't blame him. You gotta ride like him. So what would y'all think about a Tucker Carlson? Somebody that knows the world rules. Hell, Tucker just had a sit down with Vladdy. Vladdy don't sit down with too many Americans and give and talk to him now. So him and Vladdy got some type of relationship. We already know Tucker and Trump got a relationship. Aren't we tired of politicians? They've showed us what they're capable of doing over time, since the beginning of time. We have to get back to policy and not name notoriety. I'll take somebody, and I don't know their name, as long as they got a great agenda for America, rather than somebody who's known around the world but wants to make America a shithole. Yes, I will. And I know millions and millions of other Americans that'll take that same road. America, we got to get her back on track. I've always told you people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be, America goes as the Americans take it. And it's time for us to take our country back. We have to remind the establishment that they work for us. It's not the other way around. Somewhere in the midst of all this, government has assumed the role of dictator. And that's not what it is. These are people who are put in office by we the people. These are elected officials that are supposed to do right by the people. So, once again, they must be reminded that this is America, land of the free, home of the brave. It's built on the Constitution. It's built on the Bill of Rights. It's not built on what an establishment wants America to be. And they will soon find that out. I appreciate everybody for tuning in for another edition of Friday Night Liberal SmackDown. We're going to make it short, but you already know. In the meantime, in between time, I will see you Monday for Mega Monday. Make sure you're there, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Peace. I am out.